Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you are here today for a yoga flow to help us reconnect and find clarity. So if you haven't already, go ahead and join me on your mat in seated position, whatever seated position is most comfortable for you, because we will be here for a minute as we do a short meditation and then head right into the flow. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Close your eyes as we take some deep nourishing breaths. So go ahead and inhale. Hold for a second and exhale. Keep taking those deep, beautiful, nourishing breaths as we find our seat. We check in with our posture, acknowledging that imaginary line from the base of our spine all the way up through the crown of our head. We bring the shoulder blades together as we raise our chest, because we are so proud of ourselves for showing up today for this practice. Continue breathing and just allow yourself to be in this time and space. I designed this yoga flow so we can slow down in this season, reconnect with ourselves, and find that clarity heading into the next season. So continue breathing and just being. Throughout this yoga flow, you may notice things come up like thoughts or feelings. We allow them to come up. We do not judge them. And we continue on with our practice. But as you go through this flow, you will feel that internal light that is always there start to get stronger and stronger. And I want you to continue to connect with that light and trust it, and just listen to what it wants you to know in this time and space. So continue breathing again as we're just allowing ourselves to be here, grounding ourselves in this moment, and showing ourselves some love and gratitude for even showing up and hitting play on this yoga flow. Take one more deep inhale. Hold for a moment. And exhale. Then you can gently open your eyes as we start some gentle head rolls. Again, slowly going all the way around. As you're doing this, you may notice some parts of your neck that need a little extra love. Feel free to stay there, but really take your time as you go all the way around. Not losing our posture, observing any sensations, because we can hold a lot of tension in our neck. I love to start with these movements. You'll notice if you've done a few of my yoga flows, most of them start this way. But we're breathing and gently rolling the neck, and then turn the other way. Again, just gently observing any sensations you feel as you do this movement. All the way around, then back to center. Let's go ahead and roll the shoulders up and back. I love to start with these pretty much in every yoga flow, again, because we just hold so much in our neck and shoulders energetically, whether we realize it or not. And I just think it's a beautiful way to start our yoga flows. Every morning and night when I stretch, I do these. It feels so good for my body. So just slowly going all the way around, gently noticing anything we're feeling in our shoulders, and then switch directions, rolling them forward. Still breathing, coming back to that breath anytime that you feel those intrusive thoughts coming in. Again, this practice is about coming back to us, reconnecting with our soul, with our truest self. So keeping that at the forefront as we gently release our hands down next to us. And let's deeply inhale, reaching up towards the sky with our hands in our gaze. Hold it for a moment. Gently release down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up. Reach, reach, reach. Hold for a moment. Exhale, bringing it down. 1 more time. This time we're going to hold it at the top. Inhaling, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, you're going to mirror me, bringing your right arm down, left arm over your side body. I always have to double check my cues there. But just stretching over the left side. Again, you're mirroring me or not mirroring me, but just make sure you do it on the opposite side as we feel that length in our side body all the way from our hip through the tip of our fingers. Not leaning over as we stretch over to the side. Inhale back to center and doing the same thing on the opposite side. So your left arm is down, right arm reaching over your side body. You can bring your gaze up towards that arm reaching over. Again, feeling that length from the hip to the tip of the finger. Inhale back to center. Exhale, slightly twisting to the right, really grounding our right hand behind us. Left hand is on our knee. Still keeping the spine nice and long. We haven't left that imaginary string from the base of our spine out through the crown of our head, but just gently twisting, allowing ourselves to release anything that we need to energetically in this moment. 1 more inhale and exhale in this pose. Then we're going to inhale back to center, reaching up, up, up as high as we can. Exhale, twisting to the other side, grounding our palm behind us. Other hand is on the knee. Spine is still nice and straight. Breathing. Acknowledging this moment. There's nothing else we need to be doing besides being here in this present moment. Inhale back to center and then release down. Go ahead and join me in tabletop. Take your time getting there. But our shoulders are over our wrists, our hips are over our knees, and we're going to do a few cat-cow. So again, this starts in the tailbone, and it's like a wave going up through your body, through the crown of your head. But we're going to inhale, tip the tailbone up, drop the belly, chest and gaze towards the sky. Exhale, tucking the tailbone in, rounding the back, chin to chest. Do that a few more times. Inhale, tipping the tailbone up, dropping the belly, raising the chin and the chest. Exhale, tucking the tailbone in, rounding the back, chin to chest. Again, a few more times at your own pace, slowly going through these movements. Synchronizing it with the inhales and exhales. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and inhale with our right arm up towards the side of our mat. Exhale, bringing the right arm through as we thread the needle, extending it to the other side of our mat. And then our left arm is going straight over our bodies. Again, a slight twist in the spine here. Stay here for a few breaths as we acknowledge that connection we are cultivating between mind, body, and soul. That inner light and inner energy, life force energy that we are cultivating, that we always have within us. We can really feel that connection in our yoga practice. So just acknowledge it in this moment, and as we continue to go through this practice, go ahead and bring that left arm back up, pushing into the ground, reaching the right arm back out to the side, and then releasing down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Stretch the left arm out as far as you can. Thread it through to the other side, extending your right arm over your head. Your hips are still over your knees. Breathing into this pose. Again, coming back to this moment anytime we need it, anytime our mind wants to wander, we can allow those thoughts and then come back to our breath and what sensations we're feeling in the body. Bringing that left arm back up, pushing into the ground, reaching that left arm out as far as we can, and then release down into the mat. Let's melt it back into child's pose. I'm going to bring my toes together, my knees a little bit wider as I melt it down, elongating all the way from my hips, through my back, through my shoulders, out through the tip of my fingers, elongating that space as much as I can as I find some comfort and rest in this child's pose. We'll be here for a few moments. Even rest your forehead on the mat if you'd like. Continue breathing and just acknowledge how good it feels to slow down. Take a break from the noise, so much noise going on around us of what we should be doing, expectations that people put on us, that we put on ourselves, when really it's just a matter of taking some time to slow down and come back to ourselves, to realize what we need and want in this season. Next inhale, go ahead and lift back up to tabletop, and then we're just going to drop our hips into a cobra, or you can do a true up dog if you want to push your bottoms of your feet, lifting the thighs off on the mat, whatever feels good to you, but bring those shoulder blades together and our chest is towards the sky. Tune into what your body needs in each pose and just make micro adjustments as needed. Pushing those palms into the mat, not losing your neck. Then let's tuck those back toes under, push it up into plank, raise the hips, walk the feet in as we push our palms into the mat as we find ourselves in down dog. I love to walk the dog here. That's just alternating bending my knees as I'm in this pose, keeping my back nice and straight. Then let's inhale the right leg up as high as we can into three-legged dog, and then sweep that leg through into high lunge, dropping the back knee, and then finding your palm up in low lunge. Beautiful. Find your balance, find yourself in this low lunge with your back knee on the ground, and then gently find your biceps up by your ears, dropping your shoulders, still leaning into that front lunge. Beautiful. Now if you can lean it back ever so slightly, please do so, as much as you can. Then coming back up into low lunge. We're then going to drop our hands behind our back, opening our chest with a quick bind. Still leaning into that front lunge. Feeling that force energy, life force energy in our legs and throughout our whole body. Release the bind, biceps up back by the ears. Twist into a T towards the front of your mat. We're going to drop the left hand down by the right foot, stacking the shoulders, bringing our gaze up towards our right hand as we're bringing it up towards the sky. A light twist here in this low lunge. Beautiful. Still leaning into that lunge, stacking the shoulders. All right, inhale back up into that T, and then find yourself back in the front of your mat, facing the front of your mat, biceps by your ears, dropping the shoulders, and then find your palms back on either side of your foot. Pop that back foot up, and then bring both feet together as we find ourselves in down dog again. Walk the dog as you press those palms into the mat. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, left leg up as high as you can, sweeping it through. Hands on either side of that foot in a high lunge here. Dropping the back leg, finding yourself in low lunge. Take a moment to find your balance here. You can have your hands on your knees, but eventually we will bring those biceps by the ears. Leaning into that front lunge. When and if you can, gently leaning back, lifting the chest and the gaze towards the sky, acknowledging this present moment, and just showing up today again. So much love and appreciation as we stand back up. Release the hands into a bind behind your back, opening the chest, receiving anything we need in our heart space. In this pose, leaning into the front lunge, opening that hip. Release the bind, biceps back up by the ears, dropping the shoulder, twist, opening the T towards the back of your mat. Dropping that right hand by your left foot, stacking the shoulders, leaning into the front lunge. Left arm is reaching up towards the sky along with our gaze. Hold it here in this twist for just a moment. Continue to open, allow, and receive anything you are getting in this moment as we strengthen that connection with ourselves. Gently coming back up to the T, and then find ourselves towards the front of our mat, leaning into the lunge, biceps by our ears. Release the hands down either side of the foot, tuck that back foot in, bring both feet together, back into downward facing dog. Now let's do the same sequence again, but let's sequence breath to movement. So we're going to go just a little bit faster here. But again, if you need to take it at your own pace, that's totally fine. Do what you need to do now that you've built that connection. Let's go ahead and inhale, right leg up as high as you can. Exhale, bringing the foot in between both your hands into a lunge. Inhale, dropping the back leg, hands towards your knee. Exhale, hands up, biceps by your ears. Inhale, leaning back. Exhale, coming back up. Inhale, opening towards the side, hands into a T. Exhale, bringing your hand down, reaching up towards the sky. Inhale, bringing it back up. Exhale, into high lunge, or facing the front of your mat in that low lunge still. Inhale, bringing your hands down on either side of the foot. Pop the foot back, bringing it back into downward facing dog. Catch your breath for just a moment. Beautiful. Again, it's okay if you don't keep up exactly, or if your inhales and exhales get a little bit off. But it's just that intention of trying to sequence the breath with the movement. Same thing on the other side. Let's inhale, left leg up as high as we can. Exhale, bringing it in between our hands into lunge. Inhale, bringing the back knee down, finding our hands by our knees. Exhale, bringing the biceps up by the ears. Inhale, leaning back. Exhale, bringing it back, standing up straight. Inhale, opening into that T. Exhale, bringing the hand down, leaning into that lunge. Inhale, back into that T. Exhale, biceps up by your ears. Inhale, bringing your hands down. And then go ahead and meet me in downward facing dog. Beautiful. All right, stay here for just a moment as we go ahead and head into our next sequence. This time we're going to inhale, bring the right leg up as high as we can. Exhale, sweeping it through into high pigeon. Another one of my favorite poses here. What's important is that your knee is in line with your hip. It's okay if your shin isn't parallel with the mat, but your knee is in line with your hip. Gently opening that hip here. Chest is nice and high. Swaying back and forth, breathing, opening, allowing. We've built a really strong reconnection here in this moment. You're feeling that heat, that energy, that light pulsing through you. Now you can stay in high pigeon, or you can go ahead and swing that left arm behind you, grabbing onto the back foot, just doing a little extra quadriceps stretching here. Bringing that left foot as far as you can in toward your body. Still maintaining that hip opener in the front, facing the front of your mat. And then you're going to go ahead and release down. into low pigeon, resting on your forearms. These poses always feel so good to me, and sometimes I make micro adjustments as needed. Again, you're really tuned into what your body and soul needs, so just make any micro movements as you're in each pose. Breathing into the sensation you're feeling as you're opening that hip. Allowing yourself to be in this beautiful energy you've cultivated. Then go ahead and place your palms back up on the mat, back into high pigeon. Tuck that left toe back under as we pop it back up into downward facing dog, bringing both feet together. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So go ahead and inhale, lift the left leg up as high as you can. Exhale, sweeping it through. High pigeon. Again, knees in line with your hip. Palms are pushing into the mat. Chest is nice and high. Find your sweet spot here. You can just kind of not rotate, but bounce back and forth here as you continue to open those hips or rock back and forth. It's a better way to word it. Not losing our shoulders or our neck, keeping our shoulders down. Bring the shoulder blades together a little bit if you even can. And then you can stay here, or you can swing that right arm around, grabbing onto that right foot. Thumb up in the air. Better way to grab that. Pulling that right foot in as close as you can. Breathing. Feeling that elongation in the quadriceps as we continue to open the hips. Chest is still nice and proud. Breathing. Releasing down into low pigeon. Feels so good after I open my hips a little bit each time, deeper and deeper into the stretch on our forearms. Breathing into this moment. Imagine with each breath, you're just making that inner light brighter and brighter, stronger and stronger, so you have that connection as you continue to go on throughout your day, even after this practice. Really finding what it feels like to be tapped into your true self, your soul, that inner light, whatever you want to call it. But it's just a feeling that you can't describe, but now you know what it feels like. One more deep breath in this low pigeon, and then go ahead and meet me back in high pigeon. We're going to tuck that back toe under, pop it up, meet me in downward facing dog. We're going to do that sequence again one more time, just sequencing breath to movement. I think it's just beautiful practice to get into. Let's go ahead and inhale, lift the right leg up as high as we can. Exhale, sweeping it through into high pigeon. Inhale, bringing our left arm around, grabbing back onto the left foot, exhaling as we deepen that stretch in our quadricep. Inhale, release, exhale down into low pigeon. Be here for a breath. Next inhale, popping it back up into high pigeon. Inhale, bringing both feet back together. Meet me in down dog. Beautiful. Really opening those hips now. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, left leg up as high as we can. Exhale, bringing it through into high pigeon. Inhale, sweeping the right arm back, grabbing onto the right foot. Exhaling into this quadricep stretch. Inhale, releasing down. Exhale into low pigeon. Stay here for just a breath. Next inhale, come back up into high pigeon. Pop that back foot up. Instead of going into down dog, bring it to tabletop. And let's go ahead and do a quick child's pose as we recover from those intense hip openers. Again, this pose is meant to be just a little bit of reprieve from that high energy we cultivated. Again, we are tuned into our body, mind, soul connection. That is the purpose of yoga. Yoga, in somewhat translation, means the yoke, which means connection. We're connecting all aspects of ourselves in this practice. Breathe and keep leaning it back into this child's pose. And then go ahead and bring it forward. Let's counteract it with a quick cobra. Neck is nice and long, shoulder blades are together, elongating the abdomen. Then come back and let's transition onto our back. We have a couple more poses as we round out today's practice. Gently on our back, we're going to bring our knees to our chest, hugging them in as tight as we can, giving ourselves a big old hug. And then we're going to put our hands in cactus pose, dropping our knees to the right, gazes to the left. Gentle twist here as well. Just grounding ourselves in this moment, feeling all connections we have with the ground, with the mat. Again, receiving anything we need to in this time and space. One more breath here and then we'll switch sides. Go ahead and switch as we bring our knees to the left, gaze to the right, gentle twist. Being fully aware of our body and anything it is telling us we need in this moment. Releasing anything else we need to in that twist. Just like wringing yourself out of anything that's not serving you in this season. Alright, if you haven't already, go ahead and come back to center. We're going to head into our last pose of the flow, everyone's favorite, Savasana. So find a comfortable Savasana for you as we end today's practice with a few more deep, beautiful, nourishing breaths. Take a few moments again just to be open and allow and receive in this time and space. It could be a feeling, it could be a thought, it could be a nudge, it could be silence, it could be love. Just open, allow, and receive anything you need in this time and space. When it feels right, go ahead and join me in the center of your mat, or if you need to take a few more moments, please, please do so. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you can feel that beautiful reconnection and find some clarity and that beautiful connection you've created, you've always had, but just strengthen that connection with yourself, with your inner light, with your intuition, and just honor yourself by listening to those messages you've received, maybe any nudges you felt, and just promise yourself you'll at least listen to what you received in this practice. But I'm sending you all so much love, all the highest vibes. Bring your hands to your heart in prayer position. I will see you in the next yoga flow. Namaste.